All right. Good morning, everybody. I've got a good friend of mine here that I've known for a little bit, and we've done some educational stuff together over time. Matt, I'll let you introduce yourself and tell us who you are, where you're from, how you got to where you are, and then just take off and talk about New Hampshire housing, or otherwise known as New Hampshire Housing Finance Authority here in the state. I'll just take 2 seconds. I've been familiar with New Hampshire housing for a number of years now, and we, as the New Hampshire Association of Realtors, took a big step for us a few years ago, and we wrote a check to New Hampshire Housing Finance Authority for $250,000. That was the largest type of an investment that we've ever made at the New Hampshire Association of Realtors, and we're starting to see some of our local boards in the state make some investments as well in New Hampshire housing. It is a great institution, something that a lot of people that I found as realtors don't know about, believe it or not, in our state. And so by doing this with Matt today, I'm trying to get the word out and at least let some of the agents that work for us know. So take it away, my friend.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Ben. As always, it's great to be here. I love speaking with realtors. I travel across the state. We host a 1 hour CEU class for realtors on like a lunch and learn type of initiative. And it amazes me to your point, Ben, that how many people that work in this industry still they don't know who we are or they have like misconceptions on who we are, right? So it's 9:06. All my emails are gonna start popping. I apologize for that if you guys can see it. But so my job here, Ben, is to educate and advocate for not just New Hampshire housing, but home buyers and realtors and lenders across the state, and educate them on what our programs are. So my name is Mathew Gallant. Like Ben had said, I'm the senior manager of business development here at New Hampshire Housing. If you, as a realtors, have any questions when it comes to New Hampshire Housing, our programs, and how they work, I would be your point of contact, at least one of them. So I always throw this out at every class and everything I do. If you ever have a question, a customer scenario, if you're just not sure of something or something doesn't seem right on an offer that was made with one of our products attached, call me, reach out. We are always here to support the market. It's part of our mission, and we want to make sure that we are educating you, the consumers, and the lenders, so that there's a broad understanding of what we do. So, jump right into here. We actually have some big changes, Ben. Ben and I, we had talked. We have some big changes coming down the pipeline at New Hampshire Housing. It's really fitting that when Ben and I were talking about doing this meeting, I didn't know they were going to hit August 1st. And I was telling Ben this morning, I'm like, it's really good timing, actually, because we have some sweeping changes coming to New Hampshire housing in our programs, which honestly, change sometimes can be scary. But this change is wholly designed to make our programs even more simple to understand, even more simple to utilize, and really just level the playing field for buyers across the state. So in this conversation, we're going to talk a little about who we are so we can bridge that gap of who we are. And then we're going to talk about what we do. And then I'm going to give you guys a kind of a very brief overview of our products. So this is going to be a quick hit class. And we'll talk about where you can learn more at the very end of it. So who we are is New Hampshire Housing Finance Authority, or otherwise known as New Hampshire Housing. Our mission is to promote, finance, and support housing solutions for the people of New Hampshire. Why NHAR donated that very gracious large lump sum of money to us is because every effort we make is to promote housing in the state of New Hampshire, to finance single family homes, multifamily homes, which is, what the home ownership division does, or multifamily housing, like large scale projects that allow for development within the state. We are the financing authority for that. So our mission is to promote and finance it. Again, we are your state housing finance agency. We provide on the home ownership level really competitive mortgage rates and what we're known for, down payment assistance. And we do that so we can help home buyers be successful at home ownership. If you look since our inception in 1981, we've financed well over now 55,000 single family homes in the state of New Hampshire, 55,000. And we've built or financed to be built well over at this point 16,000 multifamily units in this state. So there's no organization, save NAR, that in this state that knows New Hampshire and the needs of the consumers and the needs of the home buyers and the builders like New Hampshire Housing. Simply what we do. Let's talk about some numbers. This last fiscal year, we had one of the best years we've ever had. And you're probably thinking, Matt, like, how does that happen? The market has been slow. Things have been, listings have been limited. Sales and transactions have been going tons to cash. Well, New Hampshire Housing, our housing finance authorities, we're literally designed for markets like this. When rates go up, when costs go up, when affordability tanks, HFAs kick in. That's our mission, is to keep homeownership affordable for the average home buyer in the state of New Hampshire. Last year, we did 1,082 transactions and purchase transactions for home buyers in the state of New Hampshire. We lent over $329 million here just in New Hampshire to help home buyers find home ownership. And we gave out $4.6 million in down payment assistance to those 1,082 purchases of self-generated funds. So contrary to popular belief, we do not get any money from the state government. We don't get any money from the federal government. We rely on self-generated funds and donations like NAR had made. We rely on generating our own money based off the loans that we do, and that profit gets turned around into down payment assistance. So we don't get anything extra. We don't get any handouts. We have to work and generate all of our own funds, just like you do as a realtor. You have to work to generate your income. So do we. We do more than just mortgage programs and build state housing or multifamily housing. We fund housing counseling and education programs all across the state. The three big ones you might have heard of are AHEAD up north in the North Country, the Home Team down here in the central part of the state, and then the Housing Partnership on the Seacoast. So we fund them annually so they can continue doing the work that they do, and we do that based, again, off of the profits that we generate. We have a variety of programs that help low to moderate income buyers in this state, not just the wealthy, not just the impoverished, but everyone in that low to moderate income, the average New Hampshire home buyer. That's who we're here for. We provide realtor and lender training statewide. If you guys are interested, every other Thursday we host a Zoom realtor training. It's a solid 1 hour in-depth training on our products. You can sign up right at nhhomeownership.org. And again, those are the numbers that we already talked about. 55,000 families purchased their homes since we were started. But the main show, folks, the reason you're here is we provide a fixed rate, competitive mortgage for purchase or refinance of a primary home. And when I say competitive, there's some trigger terms I can't use. Excuse me. But we have like the best mortgage rates. You can't say that publicly. You can't say that in advertisements. But when you look at the market compared to our rates, we are about a point under the market. We do that because we use our own funds. We do sell loans out into the marketplace, but HFAs have like special carve outs. We have special advantages that other lenders don't have based off of our formation as a state agency. We do that by selling bond loans. So we can provide really competitive mortgage rates for home buyers, which if you're looking at like 7.5, 7.25 in the mortgage rate, 6.875 recently, we're down in the fives. Yes, you heard me say that. We have options in the fives. Haven't seen those in a while, have you? No, not in the marketplace, but we have them. So if you're wondering how customers out there are still affording mortgages and their financing, and you're wondering why they're choosing New Hampshire Housing, it's not always just the down payment assistance. It's because of the really competitive rate. Some of the changes we've made over the last few years, if you haven't used New Hampshire Housing in a while, we offer competitive mortgages with minimal overlays for really simple financing. One of the big things we've done over the last few years is really try to narrow down the requirements to doing business with us for lenders, like how they underwrite and how they qualify a home buyer. We've simplified our programs to align to the basic underwriting guidelines of all of the different programs or insurers we have: FHA, USDA, VA, and conventional lending. We have very flexible underwriting. There's a lot of details that I could go into, but I'm not going to, just due to our time constraints. But we have very flexible underwriting. We do that with mission in mind. We do that to help more people get into homeownership, not just the ones with weak credit and no money. Our flexible underwriting helps everybody who makes anywhere from, a 620 has a 620 all the way up to an 800 FICO score. Believe it or not, our average FICO score on our loans is about a 720 to 740. So, um, and we help home buyers who make as a qualifying income $167,800. I don't know about you, but $167,800 is not low income. Yeah, that's right now above moderate income. It's 140% of the state median income, which is about $80,000. So our financing is for everybody. Everybody, as long as you make that 167.8 or under as qualifying income. The other piece is that we have really simple down payment options. In fact, they're getting more simple. They already were simple, but they're getting even more simple starting August 8th. And that's one of the big things that I wanted to talk about with you guys today. All right. So here is our mortgage programs. We have three. A lot of people have heard over the last, over the years that they've maybe worked with New Hampshire housing. Oh, they're complicated. Oh, there's so many rules. Oh, there's too many variations. We've narrowed it down to three mortgage programs: Home Flex, Home Preferred, and Home First. Okay. Home Flex is your standard government loans. Think FHA, VA, and USDA. So anybody looking with a Home Flex loan is going to qualify under one of those types of loans within our Home Flex program. These are great for borrowers who may not be first-time home borrowers, that they may be doing a move-up purchase, or they may be doing a buy sell, but they don't still have the funds to meet the threshold of the new down payment requirement or the new purchase price because costs have inflated. Maybe they didn't get the equity they were looking for. Maybe it's a divorce situation. Who knows? But Home Flex is a great option. Low down payment and down payment assistance available, even for people who aren't first time home buyers. Then you have the Home Preferred program. Now, this is a conventional loan program. If you've done a conventional loan, if you've worked with a conventional buyer, which I'm sure every one of you have, this is the conventional loan program. And our conventional loan program is actually different in good ways than a standard, conventional lender program at any other institution. Why? Because we only have a 3% down requirement. Those 3% don't have to be the borrower's funds. Yeah, I said that right. They can come with zero down on a conventional loan. That 3% can be funded from down payment assistance and seller concessions, so on and so forth. Makes it really flexible. It's also a really flexible option for those people looking at a 1 to 4 family. We have very few limits on what people can do in that 1 to 4 family. So conventional lending, easier than standard conventional lending, and very flexible guidelines. Then you go to the Home First, which is about 85% of all the loans we do. These are the ones with the extremely competitive rates. These have been historically the ones with the down payment assistance, the most robust down payment assistance. And this is primarily for first-time home buyers looking to buy a home in New Hampshire. There's 13 targeted towns that you don't have to be a first-time home buyer. And if you're a veteran, even if you're not using a VA loan option, you don't have to be a first-time home buyer anywhere in the state to use this program. So there's some big benefits to it. You have the very competitive interest rate. You have robust down payment assistance, and you have that still overall ease of simplified underwriting and flexible underwriting. So that's it. Three programs. Don't overcomplicate it. Don't overthink it, is what I always tell people. You're going to fit into one of them. Every buyer, as long as they don't make over that 167.8, should fit into one of our programs. Now for the big hurrah. So I don't know if you're going to be surprised to see this on the screen, but as of August 1st, so we have a couple more days, New Hampshire Housing is completely reinventing our down payment assistance. It used to be that Home Flex and Home Preferred loan would offer you like a 1%, 2% of the loan amount in down payment assistance. It varied. It was variable, which meant calculations could get complicated. Anytime there was a change in the purchase price or renegotiation, the dollar amount could change. And that may kick somebody out of qualifying, right? So we said, we don't want to do that anymore. We want to simplify it. We want to make it across the board. So we rolled out our new DPA simplified program where your borrower can pick any one of our programs, Home Flex, Home Preferred, or Home First, and they can choose either $5,000, $10,000, or $15,000 in down payment assistance. Yes, $15,000. Cap used to be 10. As of August 1st, it's going to 15. Based on our numbers, this is going to help a lot more people afford and find home ownership. Okay. Another big change we recently rolled out is that we do allow, and we are one of only very few states who do, we allow our buyers to use our down payment assistance to cover buyer agent commission. So that buyer agent fee. So that is a big change. We are one of the only states who do it, but we understand the need and we understand the competitive nature of the market, and we want to make home buying as easy as possible. So know that too. We also have a first gen and age program. So if you have a first generation home buyer, and that simply means to the most degree that their parents did not have home ownership in their lifetime, then we are going to throw an extra 10 grand into the transaction, meaning they could get up to $25,000 in down payment assistance when buying their first home. Now, this is truly a first time home buyer program, but we've done well over $1 million in down payment assistance just in this program alone in New Hampshire. So, what I always tell realtors, it's another question when you're doing your initial interview, looking over their needs and wants, throw in the question, did your parents have home ownership? Are you going to be a first gen buyer? If they say, no, my parents didn't, then you know right off the bat, you could get them $10,000 in down payment assistance. Even if they didn't take any of the other down payment assistance, they could still get $10,000 to help them smooth out that transaction, make it easier to finance, and just alleviate some of that burden for first time home buyers. So talk to your approved lender. We have approved lenders across the state. Most likely, if you have a lender partner in the state of New Hampshire, I'm pretty sure we cover everybody now, but most likely your lender that you work with is an approved New Hampshire housing lender. Ask them. If they're not, find one. You can go right to nhhomeownership.org. Again, that website's been at the bottom of the screen the whole time. That website, you can click on approved lender list. And we not only list out our top lenders, like our strongest partners who know our programs the best and our highest volume loan officers, but we list every other bank and loan officer as well. So if they're approved, they're on the website, and you should have no problem finding somebody who does business with New Hampshire Housing. If you can't, call me, ask me. I will hook you up with a lender who's approved with our programs who can help your clients get that $5,000, $10,000, or $15,000 in down payment assistance. How our down payment assistance works is important. All of our down payment assistance is at a 0% APR, no payment, second lien. So if they take $15,000, we're not going to ask them to make any monthly payments. We don't charge them interest. That's it. If they sell, if they refinance, if they file bankruptcy, then they pay us back the down payment assistance. So quite often, the equity gain based off the leveraging that down payment, their equity gain easily pays for any of the down payment assistance that they received. We also are working on a subordinate option for people if like maybe they need to refinance because rates drop, and they are in a situation where they aren't able to pay off the down payment assistance for some reason. We will resubordinate ourselves if they refinance with us. Also, we make it option for every home buyer. Like let's say they want to pay that loan off, like they don't want to worry about 10 or 15 years from now. They can make monthly payments to it. We don't charge them anything. We will allow them to make monthly payments on that second lien. So if they're doing long-term planning, they can pay that off ahead of time, and there's no worry about repaying it at the end. So quick hit on that. And then resources and my contact info. If you have any questions at all about any of New Hampshire Housing's current programs, the changes that are coming on August 1st, don't hesitate to reach out at any point. We're always here for you guys. So that's all I got, Ben. Quick hit. Was that quick hit? Was it quick enough? I tried to cover everything I could in the time we have. So
Wow.
good
That was
changes, huh?
awesome. That was awesome, man. Thank you. And yes, as you know this better than I. I mean, we could sit here and talk about all these programs for a week if we
Oh
broke
yeah.
them all down into into a lot of details. One thing, a couple questions that I have. One, um, the discussion you had about the borrower potentially being able to use that money to pay buyer agent commission
Yeah.
is off the charts, crazy cool.
Yeah.
Because just thinking about, and I did not know that going into this, and thinking about that out loud, that could be the difference that allows a borrower to win a bid potentially when they may not have to ask for buyer concessions to the seller, right?
Yeah.
Because we know that's probably going to happen in a lot of situations where the borrower is asking the seller to pay borrower agent compensation as part of a condition of the sale. So I think that's wicked cool. One question that I have, if a borrower is looking to do something, they would go through a approved New Hampshire housing lender. They're not going to call you personally to get the loan.
Correct. Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. If the agent, if you want to call me, and ask me for a referral to one of our lenders, by all means, I will do that all day long. I also take buyers, I take consumer calls too. Like I have consumers that call me all the time because they see me on Facebook or LinkedIn or like, they get me through the website and they ask me just, I'll always answer their questions, right? I'll always talk to them and then I'll hand them off to a lender and I'll submit them through the referral pool. Because we don't direct lend, right? Like we're not a direct lender. We don't have a retail channel. You can only use our products through your preferred lender. So like if agents are already working with a lender, that there's like a very, 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 very high chance that lender is New Hampshire Housing approved. They have access to our products. They know our products because we offer like a robust training program. And if they don't fully understand them, we are here pretty much 24/7 to answer those questions 7 days a week to support them in their effort of getting that loan closed. So, we're working when everybody else is working. I'm answering phone calls at 11 o'clock at night, just like the realtors and lenders are. So we're trying to bring that methodology and that mental state to what New Hampshire Housing does because we understand you guys don't work at 9 to 5. I mean you're working, but like that's not the only one you work. So we don't want to be not available. So. And yeah, the buyer agent thing, Ben, that's huge. I mean, think of it too. When this rolls out or this, we're starting to see it, right? You're starting to see a little bit more. You're starting to hear about it more. It's not official yet, but it's coming. Um, we're already starting to see some of these things happen on this side. Like we're already getting transactions that are structured that way, which is one of the reasons we did it. The way our thought process on this is that this, buyers may have had some money already to cover their down payment. They may have had it, but now they got to pay 3% that they weren't expecting to pay. Guess what that buyer is now? Either less competitive or not approved because they don't have the cash to cover the transaction, which is why we've opened it up. We're thinking that this is going to support a new level of buyer that may not have needed our programs, but now they're finding out that they do. And we
Right.
don't want to leave
Right.
them behind, right? We want to make them able to still find home ownership. So,
Yeah, no, that's great. That's awesome. And yeah, Matt is correct. If you go on their website, you can look at the lenders and you can even break it down by the different type of program and or the area of the state. I was on their website earlier this morning checking it all out, and I probably know 95% of the lenders that are on there just having been in the business
yeah,
long enough, and they're all over the state. So you are correct in that your chances of finding one is pretty darn good. The other thing that I would say about the website that you guys have that is so robust in information is that for us as realtors, we can go on there and find all kinds of demographic info that we could
got it.
share with consumers and things of that nature. The other thing that I would also like you to touch on a little bit is I know on your website there's some areas for realtors to be able to use some of your materials for marketing.
Absolutely. Yeah. So one of the things that when I came here, Andy and he's my partner in crime, as I always say, we wanted to make tools and resources for realtors. So in lenders. So one of the things, if you go to nhhomeownership.org and you click on lenders or realtors, you have your own tab of resources on our website. There's a marketing button right within that tab. If you click marketing, it's going to get you everything from photo releases because if you follow us on any of the channels, the Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, we have Snapchat lenses. You're going to see all the lender celebrations we do. We show you out, we show your lender out. We talk about the successes with over 30,000 followers that we have. Not only that, but you can download program sheets that talk about Home First in 15K DPA, talk about first generation. And here's the kicker, Ben. Here's what blows everybody's mind on these marketing worksheets is that we are a little state, right? But we are a diverse little state. And what we've gone ahead and done for you guys as realtors is we've actually went ahead and translated all of this marketing material to 7 different languages. You have Bhutanese, you have Swahili, English, French, Spanish. And they're growing. We're actually adding more in the next couple of weeks, more languages. So if you're working with a community like a Bhutanese community or a Filipino community, or you're working with somebody who's from Somalia, we're going to have the documents translated for you so that you can market to those communities and support those communities and engage with them, even if you're not fluent, even if you're not somebody who speaks that language. But if you have a community that you can support, we've given you the tools to do that. So check it out. There's tons. There's stuff to post on Facebook and Insta. I mean, you name it. We've got tools all over the place for marketing for these programs for the realtor and lender partners, and
Yeah,
more
the other
coming.
thing, yeah, right, I'm sure. the other thing too for us as realtors to also remember, folks, that you can go on their website, and I think it was September. I wrote it down. September 26th of 2023. There was a webinar for realtors, and you can go on and watch that. I know that New Hampshire Housing has a bunch of events all the time that we as realtors are invited to go to. You can sign up and go. They're great events. Not only is it a great event to understand about New Hampshire Housing and hear some of the wins that New Hampshire Housing has been able to accomplish with their partners throughout our state, but it's a great time to network, get to know other realtors, get to know members of New Hampshire Housing and things of that nature. We could talk for hours, and I know we have a
I know
limited time
we
today, but
could.
um, uh, and when I hear Matt get all jacked up about talking about this, because you can tell he's so into it and loves it, it makes me feel that way. That God, I can't believe a lot of our members don't know about these programs for their buyers that may go, oh, they can't afford it, they don't have enough down payment. Well, God, there's so much help out there if we could just keep getting the word out. So I can't thank you enough, my friend, for jumping on with us today. We are going to definitely do this again.
Yeah,
Maybe do one with some more time. I
anytime.
know I'll get you guys onto the podcast that New Hampshire Association of Realtors, our new podcast room we have at the office, which is awesome.
We got to go on
So
each
we'll get
other's, Ben. Like, we have one, you have one.
absolutely.
We got to
Yeah,
flip. Like,
we
we got to do that,
definitely do it.
Like,
Definitely do it.
love it.
So, folks, I will send out all of Matt's contact information to everybody. He's available all the time. He's one of those guys that just loves what he does. So please ask questions of him. If you can't get a hold of him, call me. I can get a hold of him to get you the answers and information we need. Matt, thank you again, my friend. Have a great weekend, and we look forward to chatting soon.